What is going on, YouTube? So coming back today with again a video that's a little overdue again. I've been traveling a lot recently and have not been able to be home to do this right after the NBA Finals games end, and I just wanted to give my reaction to the Cavaliers winning the NBA Finals. Now, if you saw my last video talking about how the Cavs did in Game 6, then I actually predicted the Warriors to win Game 7. You know, all the stats, all the historical figures, everything pointed towards toward the Warriors winning. The one thing that they couldn't point toward was LeBron James, obviously. Kyrie Irving, too. The Cavaliers played a very resilient game. The Warriors were extremely messy, maybe outside of Draymond Green. And I did say, like I said, I thought the Warriors were going to win, even though I did really, really, really want the Cavs to win. The Cavs won. It's still hard to believe. First team in NBA history to win a title after being down 3-1. First title since 1964. First title in 146 professional sports seasons in Cleveland. It's cool to see that. It's cool, to say that you saw while that was happening. That's one of those moments in sports history. Obviously, the last generation to see Cleveland win a sports championship in 1964 was, a lot of them aren't even here anymore. So to be able to say you saw that, who knows how many more they're going to win, who knows when they're going to win in the future again, but for the time being, they won a championship, and the Cavs brought home an NBA ring to Cleveland. Now, a few things that I wanted to say just moving forward. One, a lot of questions have been asked since the season ended. Is the Golden State Warriors season a failure? I don't know. I think it's too early to say that. I think you ought to see how they do next year. It was honestly kind of a pathetic performance by Steph and Klay Thompson. They had 31 points combined. Draymond Green by himself had 32 points. Klay Thompson, who I dramatically respect as a player, I think he is a very underrated player just in himself. I thought that was a very lame move to just go straight to the locker room. I thought that was a very butthurt move. I thought that was a very big douchebag move as well. Talking about who's going to be the favorite to win the NBA Finals next year. There's something in my gut that says the Cavs will not be the odds-on favorites to win next year. But that means who do I think will be the favorite? I couldn't tell you. The Warriors probably will not be. When you say it's not the Cavs, you really got to see how things shake out this offseason. The Thunder, if Durant stays, might be a favorite there. Obviously, they pushed the Warriors to the brink. Probably would have given the Cavs a very good series if they had made it also. Durant versus LeBron would have been a very intriguing matchup. But again, you got to wait to see where Durant goes this offseason. There's a few other big names you got to wait to see where they go also. Mike Conley, DeMar DeRozan, just being a couple of them. Dwight Howard, another. After the shakeout of that, the NBA draft, we'll see what happens after that. Obviously, you got to take into account the dark horses. Where will the Timberwolves be after this whole offseason? How does Andrew Wiggins develop? How does Karl Anthony Towns develop? How do Zach LaVine how does Zach LaVine continue to develop? How does Ricky Rubio mesh with whoever they draft? Gorgie Jang, I think, is another important piece to that team. But get back to the whole topic of the Cavaliers. Very rarely am I rooting that hard for, I think this is a thing for a lot of people. Very rarely am I rooting that hard for a team that I'm not a fan of. Actually, a player that I very much used to not like. But that's just because I'm a Pacers fan. If you guys have seen a lot of my basketball videos, you probably know that. I'm a big PG fan. I'm a huge Pacers fan. And when LeBron was back on the Heat, that was a good rivalry for a little while. And the Pacers were on the short end of that stick every time in the playoffs. It's hard to see. But anyway, he set a goal in his essay back when, what was it, 2013? It was 2013 that he decided to go back to the Cavs. It'd be 2014. Yeah, 2014, he decided to go back to the Cavs and, said that he wanted to bring a championship back home to Cleveland. Very close to not doing it. All in all, the Warriors were still 4 points off getting an NBA championship still. even with all the disappointment, all the talk, they were still only 4 points away from winning. I mean, it's hard to believe how much LeBron had to put forth just for the Cavs to win. I still do respect the Warriors as a team. I mean, obviously, they're still going to be one of the biggest threats to win next year. You can't take a team that's 73-9 and say that they're not going to be a threat to win a title next year. Obviously, you got to see what happens with them. Where does Harrison Barnes go? Do they bring in another key role player? What do they do with their draft pick? That sort of thing. I mean, they got like a 29th overall pick, so who knows? But also, you got to see how the Cavs change. Obviously, LeBron's probably not going anywhere. Some of the bigger names that look like they will be leaving, Matthew Dellavedova for one. I don't think any of the big three are going anywhere really anytime soon. But also, I want to say J.R. Smith was a free agent as well. I think he'll end up staying too, though. Also watching J.R. Smith in the postgame press conference, that was that was wild to see J.R. Smith that emotional. A guy you don't really consider to be more of an emotional player in the NBA. Thanking his parents and everything, that was really cool. I do want to say congratulations to all the Cavs fans out there, mainly all the Cleveland fans. I know there's a lot of Cavs fans out there that are just like LeBron fans and all that stuff. And I mean, yeah, congratulations on your championship. But this video is mainly for the lifelong Cleveland fans, the guys that have been waiting 146 pro sports seasons to be able to see their team hoist the trophy and finally bring home another championship to Cleveland, regardless if it was football, baseball, or basketball. Like I said, I'm extremely happy for them. I think almost everyone was rooting for the Cavs. The Warriors would have been a great story. That I mentioned that in my Game 6 reaction video, my Game 7 prediction video. Either one would have been a good story, but I think the better of the two was the Cavs winning. The Warriors, was setting up for a historic season. That would have been really cool to see, especially to say I saw that in my lifetime, and I was a big NBA fan while that happened. On the flip, the Warriors won it last year. Their fans, most of their fans, and sorry to Warriors fans out there, but if you're a true Warriors fan, you probably know this. It happens with every team that gets that good gets that good that quick. A lot of those Warriors fans had no idea what was going on with the Warriors 5 years ago. So, like I said, I think your patience is hopefully even more well awarded. If the Cavs can bring home back-to-back championships, I think that'd be great. Obviously, I want my Pacers to compete next year. That's another thing that you got to mention. Does KD go to the East? If KD goes to the East, then, man, that changes things. That really does. You're talking about a Spurs team that's really on the downfall right now with some of their older guys. I really think that they'll still be fine. I mean, obviously, Kawhi, LaMarcus Aldridge still got plenty of years left. Obviously, Kawhi does. He's probably now just entering his prime. See what they do, see if they can pick up another big name in the offseason. But yeah, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, I think they're about done. I think Tim Duncan's actually going to retire after this season. There's some speculation of whether he will come back or not, but he's old. I mean, his best days are obviously behind him. Great career, one of the greatest power forwards of all time. But like I said, it's about done for him. Tony Parker will still be a good point guard in this league, but again, I think they need another big face if they want to be able to be not only a contender in the West, they will still be a contender in the West, no doubt, but be able to match up with the best of the best. In my opinion, it's hard. Like I said, it's really hard to say who's going to be the top three in the West next year. But if KD does stay in Oklahoma City, and I think that keeps Golden State and OKC at the top of the Western Conference, and I do genuinely believe the Timberwolves next year is their year to step up. I know a lot of people think that, a lot of people have been hyping up, a lot of people have been saying that, but I think they're that one draft pick away if they do it right, or just one piece away from being able to be a championship contender. You're talking about a guy in Karl Anthony Towns, you're talking about a guy in Andrew Wiggins that are both have the potential to be superstars in this league. Karl Anthony Towns is already on the brink of that. And then you look even deeper in the roster, Zach LaVine can be a very, very good shooting guard in this league. I don't think he will ever be a star. I mentioned that before. I think if the T-Wolves want to be able to be a championship contender, they're going to need another player in that backcourt. I think they need a three-man rotation if they want to move forward with Ricky Rubio and Zach LaVine. But that front court of Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, and Gorgui Dieng, I think Dieng is criminally underrated. If you watch him play, I mean, yeah, he can be inconsistent at times, but he's still very young. I think that he can be a very solid piece. I think that's a very stacked front court. I think Karl Anthony Towns is the type of guy that can be a future of the NBA sort of player. See if he ends up taking the road less traveled, the road to stardom, or he kind of falters like Anthony Davis has the last couple of years. Not to say that Anthony Davis still won't be a superstar in this league. He has been. He had a rough year, but I still think next year he'll get back on track. Like I said, congratulations to all the Cavs fans. There was a lot of things I wanted to talk about in this video. This video was mainly just looking forward to next year, talking about some of the bigger storylines that will be taking place this offseason, especially regarding the Cavs and Warriors, and then also just giving my reaction to the Game 7. LeBron laid it out on the line. Tremendous game, 27, I believe 27, 11, and 11, won the Finals MVP. Kyrie Irving hitting that clutch three to finish off the game. I have to give it up to Draymond Green, too. He played a tremendous game. I already did that. And respect to how he, still individually congratulated and took his time to be able to congratulate, show tremendous sportsmanship to every player on the Cavs after a wild ride of the playoffs for him. Congratulations to Kevin Love for finally getting a ring after all the scrutiny he's gone through in Cleveland. And congratulations to all the other guys, Tristan Thompson, Matthew Dellavedova, J.R. Smith, Amon Shumpert, all those guys who were, very key players in the Cavs supporting cast to be able to win an NBA championship. So that pretty much does it for this video. I will be coming back later today finally with actually 3 new Stadium Series tour videos, and then start back with my college football previews as well. As you guys can see, I got a very nice sunburn line. I was in Omaha this weekend for the College World Series. That was a great time as well. So that's pretty much it. See ya.